Hi everyone, it's good to know you are there. Thank you so much for joining Smart Lesson Nigeria online virtual lesson for today with your regular host, Mr. Otaibe. It's good to have you around. Your presence in the lesson is sweet. The subject is English and the theme of English is speech. And the topic, like you can see, is Introduction to Speech. Introduction to speech. And so once we look at introduction to speech, that will expose us to the elements of speech that will form the basis of instrumental speech lessons that will be coming up in future lesson series. And so let's kick off right away as we engage the introduction of the lesson that will expose us to the meaning of speech as a theme in English. Like you can see on the introductory slide, speech is the theme in English in which we study sounds. Yes, it's the theme in English in which we study sounds. And so remember, English is divided into 5 themes or 5 aspects. The first is grammar, the second is vocabulary, then we have speech, which is the current theme we are engaging in this lesson. Then we also have comprehension, and of course the last, which is composition. So you can see that speech is one of the themes in English, but then what's the focus? We study sounds in speech. So the focus of speech is sounds. So that aspect of English where we study sounds is called speech. And so that's that for speech with respect to its place in English and with respect to its meaning. Now let's make progress now to the next section of the lesson, which is sounds. What are sounds in the first place? So let's see the meaning of sounds, and we'll now proceed to types of sounds that exist. Now, sounds are vocal units that form the words in English. Yes, the vocal renderings, the vocal elements, the vocal units you combine in different ways to form the various words in English, we refer to them as sounds. Take for example the word elements. If you check, we have we have l, we have again, then we have me, then we have again, then we have ts. So these different units combined together to form the word element. They are sounds. Yes, the sounds have been combined in that pattern, in that sequence to form the word element. And that's how you combine some other vocal units to form other words. And so the vocal units, the vocal renderings, the vocal elements that we combine in various ways to form the different words in English, we call them sounds. And so let's make progress now to types of sounds. Types of sounds that exist in speech. So what are the types of sound that exist in phonetics? Now let's see what they are from this slide. Sounds are classified into 2 main types. Sounds are classified into 2 main types. What are they? Voice and consonants. Voice and consonants. And so the 2 main types of sounds we have in English are voice and consonants. Each of them has subtypes, and they are coming up shortly. And so the 2 main sounds in English in terms of types of sounds are vowel or voice sounds, then we have consonants or consonant sounds. So voice and consonants are 2 main sounds in speech. And so let's make progress now as we take the first one, voice. So we want to see what voice are and examples of voice. Then we'll now come to consonants, examples of consonants. So at the end of the day, we'll now come to see the difference between the 2 main types of sound. And so Let's start with vowels. What are vowels? Vowels are sounds we produce without a touch in between the upper and lower floors of the mouth anywhere. So a sound you produce in the mouth, and in the process there is no touch anywhere between the upper floor and the lower floor of the mouth, whether at the back behind, or around the middle, or around the tips, that's the lips, or at the sides, talking of the jaws. Yes, if there is no touch, the sound is a vowel sound. So vowel sounds are produced with the mouth open freely. Yes, the mouth is open freely. There is no slide, no touch, no friction, no obstruction. The mouth is open freely and the sound is produced. So sounds produced in these conditions, we refer to them as vowel sounds. We have some examples here. Want to pronounce them, and you do well to pronounce after me. And as you do, check your mouth. You see that there is no touch anywhere as the sounds are being produced. The first one is E. E, that's the short E. Then we have the next one, E, that's the long E. Now when you have a sound and there is a column after the sound as part of its symbol, it means the sound is the long version. So that automatically means that that sound has two versions, the shorter version and the longer version. And so the first sound there is the short version of E sound, while the next one that has colon is the longer version of the E sound. And so we'll pronounce again, starting all over again. We have E, no touch in the mouth. Then we have E, the mouth is opened, no touch. Then we have U, that's the short U now. U, the mouth is opened and there is no touch anywhere. Then the next one is A. A, the one we call A in the street in a hurry. It's actually A, two sounds in one, A and E, A. That's what we have there. And we have it in West like baby, not baby, baby. Yes, baby. That's A and E together. Baby. Gates, not gates, gates. Make, bake. So that's it. But we just say baby, gates, make, and so on. So that's not the pronunciation. It's A, and even if we don't need to be strict in terms of reflecting the two, it should be close to it. Baby, gates, make, and so on. Then the next one is oi. That's the last one. Oi. That's the one we call oi in the streets. You hear people say boy, he's a boy. No, it's oi, he's a boy. Boy, yes, boy. Toil, not toy, toil. Then we also have it in oil, not oil. Oil as a cooking ingredient. Oil, not oil. So that's the sound. It's two in one, and we have a name for sounds like that, like you are going to learn shortly. And so when pronouncing this sound, like you have confirmed from your participation, you see that there is no touch anywhere in the mouth between the upper and the lower floors. And so sounds produced like that, we refer to them as voice or voice sounds. These are a few of the voice sounds that exist. You're going to have a full list of all the voice sounds as you progress in the lesson. And so let's make progress now to the next section of the lesson, types of voice. Remember, sounds are of two types, voice and consonant. Then the voice now, we want to look at the subtypes of voice, voice. So voice are classified into pure voice, also called monophthongs, and impure voice. So we have two subtypes of voice, pure voice and impure voice. The pure voice are alternatively called monophthongs. The reason for that you are going to see shortly. But then, what's the difference between pure voice and impure voice? Let's review the next paragraph, and of course the one to follow up, so that the differences between the two sounds will have been established at the end of the day. And so, starting with pure voice are voices that contain only one unit of sound. When a substance contains only one content, one composition, as it were, then is said to be pure. Is said to be pure. For example, in the discipline chemistry, elements contain one composition. Atoms contain one composition. Yes, so chemistry student will tell you that atoms and elements are pure. But when it comes to compounds and mixtures, they are combination of different things. And so these are said to be impure. And so applying that now is the same here. Sands that contain only one unit of sand, not two different sands pronounced in succession or three different sands pronounced one after the other. Just one, and the pronunciation is the same all through. You are not changing to another sand. We refer to them as pure sand. And for the fact that they contain a single sound, only one sound, then they are also called monophthongs, going by the fact that mono as a prefix means one. So monophthong, one tongue as it were. So that's that for that. And so pure sounds are sounds that contain only one unit of sound, not two pronounced in succession and not three pronounced in succession. Only one unit of sound, and it's pronounced the same way all through. They are also called monophthongs. Now, the list of pure vowels in English are here. We want to pronounce them. The list of pure vowels that we have in phonetics, we have reflected them here. And so we want to go through them and take note of them as we pronounce. Check. You'll see that it's only one sound that is pronounced at a time, not two sounds pronounced in succession or three sounds pronounced in succession. The first one is E, that's the short. Then we have E, that's the long. U, the short. U, the long. E, okay. Then the next one, E, that's the short E, and it's a special one. Then the next one is then that's the long version. Then the next one is O. Then the next one is O, that's the longer version. Then the next one is A. Then the next one is A, that's the longer version. And of course the last So you can see that while pronouncing each of them, is only one sound we produced, not two sounds in succession. And so that makes them pure vowels or monophthongs. Pure vowels or monophthongs. Then we want to take note of these facts. If you check the sounds, you see that sound that is like A and E combined together, A and E blended together, as if you are using E to wrap A. Now take note, it's one sound, it's not I, as if you are saying A and E. No, it's a single symbol representing the short R sound. And so I want to take note of the fact that that sound is not two sounds in one. Even if the symbol is looking like double symbols, it's actually a single sound. It's representing a single sound. Take note, it's not a diphthong like we are going to see shortly. Then we now come to impure vowels. Impure vowels are vowels that contain two or more different units of sound, usually two or three different units of sound. And so when you have a vowel sound, and in the vowel sounds there are two sounds together pronounced in succession one after the other, or three sounds pronounced in succession one after the other, then the vowel sound is said to be impure because it does not contain one composition. It does not contain one element. It's having different compositions together. And so impure vowels are vowels that contain two or three units of sound. Two or three different units of sound, usually pronounced in succession. That's what we call impure vowels. Then, depending on the number of different units of sounds present, impure vowels are classified into, we have diphthongs, and if you go down, you see the second one, triphthongs. Diphthongs, triphthongs. Diphthongs, triphthongs. There are two subtypes of impure vowels. Yes, diphthongs and triphthongs. Remember, monotongue is just an equivalent alternative name for pure vowels. But when we talk of diphthongs and triphthongs, they are subtypes, not equivalent name of impure vowels, but subtypes of impure vowels. And so, what's the difference between diphthongs and triphthongs? Now, diphthongs are vowels that contain two different units of sound. That's straightforward because we know the prefix di stands for two. Di means two. So, it refers to a vowel sound that has two sounds together that are usually pronounced in succession, one after the other. So, diphthongs are vowels that contain two different units of sound, usually pronounced in succession, one after the other. And the list of diphthongs in English, we have the list here, so we want to go through them. And as we do, check, you see that we always have two sounds at a time, first followed by another. And so we pronounce two sounds in succession, one after the other. And so let's go through them. The first sound there is A. We saw it earlier. A, that's the one they call A in the street, A. So you can see that the sound is A and E, A, two. Then the next one, E, that's the one they call O in a hurry in the street, E. So two, A and U. Then the next one, Oi, O and E. Then the next one, I and E. Then the next one, that's E and the shua E. So then we go to the next one, ear, that's E and E. Then the next one, ue, that's U and E. And of course the last one, ow, that's A and U. So you can see that each of the sounds has two sounds pronounced in succession, and so that makes the sounds to be diphthongs, two tongue as it were. Yes, two in one. That's what we're talking about. And so that's that for that. Then we now go to the next one, triphthongs. Triphthongs are vowels that contain three different units of sound. So the prefix tri stands for three. So triphthongs refer to three sounds in one. Yes, three sounds making one sound, and the sounds are pronounced in succession, that is, one after the other. And so triphthongs are vowels that contain three different units of sound that are usually pronounced in succession, that is, one after the other. The 5 triphthongs in English, we have them here. We want to go through them, and as we do, check. You see that we have 3 sounds pronounced at a time for each sound, one after the other. And so the first one there is awe. Check. Awe, 3. Awe, 3. Then the next one, aye, that's A, E, and E, 3. Then the next one, that's A, E, and E, 3. Then the next one, ewe, that's E, U, and E, 3 again. And the last one, oye, that's O, E, and E. So that's that. That oye is not in OIL as in oil as a cooking ingredient. That commodity is called oil. This oil is found in a word like employee, the one we call employer. So that's what we're talking about, and we want to take notes. And so in summary, monophthongs, 1 unit of sound; diphthongs, 2 units of sound pronounced in succession; triphthongs, 3 units of sound pronounced in succession. And there are all types of vowels that exist. Diphthongs and triphthongs are impure because they do not contain one sound, whereas monophthongs is pure because they contain only one sound. And so That's that for that. So we'll now make progress now to consonants. Let's see what consonants are, and we'll now come to the subtypes that exist as well. Then at the end, we'll now see the difference between consonant sounds and voice sounds. And so let's see what we have on the next slide to that effect. Now, consonants are sound we produce with a touch of friction between the upper and lower floors of the mouth anywhere. You can see that it's the opposite. So consonants are the opposite of voice in that they are sound we produce with a touch somewhere in the mouth, whether behind, at the middle, or around the lips, or around the jaws. And so when you produce a sound in the mouth, and there is a touch in the process, a slide, friction, an obstruction, then the sound is a consonant sound. So consonant sound are sound we produce with a touch of friction between the upper and the lower floors of the mouth anywhere. And so that's that for that. The examples of consonants are, we have some here, then the full list will come up shortly. Now let's go through them. And as we do again, please pronounce after me and observe. Just check what is happening in your mouth. You come to see that there is a touch somewhere, either behind, at the middle, around the lips, or in between the jaws. And so let's pronounce the sound. Consonant sound include, the first one there is P, 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 P. So when you say B, B, you see that there is a touch in the lips. Yes, the two lips, they are touching. B, B. Good. Then the next one. T, 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 T. There is a touch. T. There is a touch around the middle of the mouth. And the next one is S, S, S. There is a touch. Then the next one is Sh, Sh, Sh. There is a touch somewhere in the mouth. Then the next one is Ch, Ch. Ch as in church. Ch, ch. Then the next one is J, J, J. J as in vision, vision, television, television, provision. Yes, J, J. There's a touch. And so these are consonant sounds because when producing them, there is a touch somewhere in the mouth. We have more. They will come up as we start reviewing the types that exist. And so let's make progress now. Here we have types of consonants. Types of consonants. Types of consonants. So we want to look at types of consonants that exist, just like we have types of voice, so that we become acquainted with them and become used to them. And so consonants are classified into voiced consonants, voiceless consonants, and syllabic consonants. So we have three types of consonants. They are voiced consonants, voiceless consonants, and of course syllabic consonants. But then what's the difference between them? Let's start with voiced consonants. Voiced consonants are consonants produced with the vibration of the vocal cord. So consonant sounds you produce, and in the process there is vibration of the vocal cord. We refer to them as voiced consonants. And so voiced consonants are consonant sound that we produce, and in the process there is vibration of the vocal cord. The vocal cord is in the throat around the Adam's apple. And so when you are producing a consonant sound and there is vibration of the vocal cords around the Adam's apple, then the consonant sound is a voiced consonant sound. And so we have examples there. This list of examples, we want to go through them. And as we do, please pronounce after me and put your fingers in your vocal cord around the Adam's apple. Then you see that there is vibration in the process of pronouncing the sound. So let's start. We have the first B, vibration. D, there is vibration. G, there is vibration. V, there is vibration. Z, there is vibration. Z, there is vibration. Then we have J, there is vibration. J, there is vibration. Mi, there is vibration. Ni, there is vibration. Ing, there is vibration. Li, there is vibration. Ri, there is vibration. J, there is vibration. And W, there is vibration. And so when you produce voice consonant, the vocal cords vibrate. Then voiceless consonants, on the contrary, are consonants produced without the vibration of the vocal cords. And so the consonant sound you produce, and in the process the vocal cord does not vibrate, we refer to them as voiceless consonants. Voiceless consonants. We have the list of them here, about 9 of them, of which we have about 15 voiced consonants. Then we have around 9 voiceless consonants. So we want to go through them again, and as we do, pronounce after me again, so that you also confirm. Put your fingers in your vocal cord and monitor the pronunciation of each. And so voiceless consonants include P, no vibration, then T, no vibration, K, no vibration, F, no vibration, F, no vibration, S, no vibration, Sh, no vibration, Ch, no vibration, and of course no vibration. So you can see that when we pronounce voiceless consonants, there is no vibration in the vocal cords. And so the difference between voiced consonants and voiceless consonants is that when producing voiced consonants, there is vibration of the vocal cord, and we have about 15 voiced consonants in speech. Then when producing voiceless consonants, there is no vibration of the vocal cords, and we have about 9 of them, 9 voiceless consonants that exist. So let's see what we have next, the syllabic consonants. Syllabic consonants. Syllabic consonants are consonants that are realized as vowels in specific syllabic contexts. What are we talking about? Consonant sound which can also be realized as vowels in some spelling context, in some syllabic context, we refer to them as syllabic consonants. That automatically means that they are consonant sounds that are also vowels in some spelling context. Yes, we refer to them as syllabic consonants. So syllabic consonants are consonant sound, but they also are realized as vowels in specific spelling environment, specific spelling context. Yes, that we refer to such consonant sound as syllabic consonant. We have about 4 of them. Syllabic consonants and their specific context of realization include what we have on the 2-column table summarizing them there. And so we want to go through them. The first column is for syllabic consonants, that's the list of them, while the other is specific context of realization, spelling context that we realize them as vowels, in which we realize them as vowel. So we want to start with the first one, and the first one is the li consonant. Li, that consonant li represented by letter L. Li is also a vowel in some spelling context, and when pronouncing it as a vowel, the pronunciation is, the sound is all, that's O and O together, that is blended. It's neither O purely and it's not O purely, but a blend of the two. All. So as a vowel is pronounced as all. Okay, so that's that. Now, which spelling context do we realize it? One of them is AL at the end of words. In fact, the words we are talking of in the 4 cases are words that are more than 1 syllables. Words that are more than 1 syllable, not single syllables. Okay, so we are not applying them to monosyllabic words. It applies to words that have more than 1 syllables. And so AL at the end of words, LE at the end of words, EL at the end of words, and IL at the end of words, they are pronounced as all, represented by the li consonant, but functioning as a vowel in that context. We want to take some examples. Talking of AL, the word politica, like we pronounce it in the street, is political. And so when you check the dictionary, the AL will be carrying the syllabic consonant li, and is pronounced as all in that context. Then LE, a word like apostle, the one we call apostle, then epistle is also Another example. Then we have el like tinsel, tinsel, tinsel. Then we have chisel as a device. Then the last one, il, we have it in the word like devil, that's Satan, devil. Then alveol is a term for a part of vernier calipers, like physics students can attest to. And so that's that for that. Then we now come to the second one, ni consonant. The ni consonant can also function as a vowel in some spelling contests, and as a vowel we pronounce it as not u that you are diluting with nasal interference. Yes. And so where do we realize it as a vowel? On at the end of words and en at the end of words. For example, season, talking of a period of time, season. Then we have another one talking of en, driven, not driven, it's driven. Season, nation, you can see the on at the end, nation. Yes. Ration, then rising. Yes, that's what we're talking about. So on and en at the end of words are realized as represented by the ni consonant sound, and is functioning as a vowel in that context. Then we now come to the next one. The mi consonant can function as a vowel in a particular spelling context, and there is pronounced as m. So you can see that it's a vowel m. Okay. And so where do we realize it? It's M after S. M after S at the end of words. M after S at the end of words. For example, baptism. Yes, baptism. That's it. Then we have it in racism. Not racism. It's racism. Baptism. So we want to take note of that. So it's actually a voice sound in context of M after S at the end of words. Then the last one is ing. So we have it in ng in some words. Please, not all words. In some words, ng in some words, whether at the end or at the middle in some words. For example, song. If you check song, there is so, then the ng will not come. The ng will be realized as this ink sound, functioning as in song. Yes, or it's also in sing. Then we also have it in some other words that have N and G together in their spelling, but it's not all cases of N and G together that automatically reflects the sound. That's why we need to pick the dictionary to filter some common words for us to know the ones that have the sound. For example, song has it, is present in sing as well, and pick up your dictionary and check some other words that may have it so that we'll become acquainted with them. And so the syllabic consonants in summary include li, ni, mi, and ing. And when pronouncing them as vowels, where they are realized as vowels, they will be pronounced as all for the first, for the second, M for the third, and ing for the last. And so that's the size of the lesson. Thank you so much for being present. We've been educated and equipped. On the evaluation stage now, you are expected to take the CBT. Yes, click on the link, on the CBT link attached to the video under the comment section of the video to do your test. Answer the questions, put all we've learned to use so that it will help to sink down the points and they become part of you permanently. I'll see you in the next lesson series. Let's make time together again to learn something new on a different subject platform.